Appointment booking is quite a challenge really to redesign. We have in the region of 1.3 million bookings taking place every year, with over 200,000 referrals coming in. We have a whole range from inpatient booking, outpatient booking, your follow-up appointments, your pre-op booking, even scheduling between departments. And you're talking hundreds of thousands of appointments every year that have to be dealt with. At all times, what we were trying to focus on was how does this affect the patient in terms of the way that we carry out a service. So patient centricity was our main focus, and then what we did was we looked at all the touch points around that. By pulling that data together, we were able to come up with a much bigger picture about how we worked in terms of the booking process itself, but also to get an understanding about where it was that we needed to go to. With so many disparate areas of the project and different specialties involved, it was very important that we got someone neutral in from outside of the organisation to work alongside our own team. So what we were bringing was this neutrality in terms of an impartial view of what the project's aims could be without trying to steer the project. It worked very well from a perspective of bringing in Ignetica because they were able to empathise with the staff. So rather than coming in there with an approach of we've been there, we've done it all before, they came in and listened to what the staff had to say. They explained very carefully and very simply the aims of the project, so that they weren't baffling people with science, but actually sitting down, going through it to explain what their role was going to be. And they managed to get staff to open up and engage with them. And that is quite a rare talent, you know, to be able to do that. Ignetica really excelled on this by understanding very early on about who needed to be party to the project and to go out there, speak to them and bring them in and engage with them. What we wanted to do was to carry out a deep analysis of the way that we worked at the moment. This meant facilitating a number of workshops with all staff groups to get the right mix of management, admin, clerical staff together, literally to make sure that everybody was aware of what we were trying to do and to open up and tell us about the way that they worked, the processes, the mechanisms, the software that they used, whether there was any standard operating procedures, and basically to crunch all that data together so that you got one true view of what it was that people did. And so part of Ignetica's role was to start to bring together the facts from each of the departments, what was the process, what needed to be the process, and then to gather the evidence to say, you know, this is what you've told us, this is what we found elsewhere, and to play that back to the staff to get them to agree what the process needed to be moving forward. I think Ignetica's team approach really worked well. They engaged on not just a one-to-one with myself, but they actually liaised very closely with my management team, but also other operational management as well, to make sure that we had quite a wide range of experience being brought into the project. From a change management perspective, Ignetica brought their experience to the trust in terms of their approach, how we need to handle the way that we deal with staff and the way that we engage with staff as well. One of the things we did after the initial proposal was we got Ignetica back in to do a real deep analysis around how we were going to implement the change, and this was to look at how we could accelerate from the initial proposal of 24 months down to 12 months implementation. So in terms of the patient's journey, it makes life a lot easier for them because it's very streamlined. They're being moved through the hospital, through the different departments. They're being guided, as it were, rather than being told to go out and find the information. But in terms of the staff side, it makes their life a lot easier as well because actually they're aware of what other departments are doing now, whereas they wouldn't have been in the past. So it eliminates the confusion and it makes life a lot easier because you've got standard processes in place. Everybody knows what they're doing. I'd say that the work that was carried out by Ignetica was excellent. How they pulled together the project, the structure, the timescale they did it within, and the complexity and the depth of the analysis that was carried out really was second to none.